Let's go.
We are Girl A.
Insecurities. It's something that, you know, as women, we all suffer with. And it can take over you, you know, if you're not in tune with yourself and, you know, you don't have a spiritual foundation and you don't have a positive support or a background, you can really become consumed with your insecurities. One of my insecurities as a adolescent was, you know, battling with weight. I wasn't always as thin as my friends or even other girls that would be in school with me or whatnot. And so, you know, in a way it kind of made me feel like I wasn't as good as the rest. So in high school, I was always an athlete. I was always active, but I was always the fat athlete. Never really cared about my eating habits or working out as much outside of practice or anything of that nature. So I never really had the concept of what it meant to be healthy down pat. I would eat whatever I wanted, when I wanted, and in turn, like, the weight would just stick on me. I come from a family of dense bones, and so I was always that stocky girl. I never was the one to be teased in school. I had a lot of friends, and I think it was because I had a strong personality. You know how most kids, they channel their energy somewhere else, and I was just always a positive person, an outgoing person. So even though on the inside I was insecure about my body image, I would never let it show on the outside. Also, I never dealt with bullying or anything of that nature, so I really don't know what it feels like to be bullied and to be called fat and bad names and things like that, because it never happened to me. If it did happen to me, it was behind my back, and I always hated the fact that I couldn't go to the store and get a pair of jeans off the rack. They would always, my muffin top would bulge over or whatnot. It was just always uncomfortable. It was always a hassle trying to find something that fit. I didn't like the way that I looked in pictures, and so coming up to the senior year of high school, I really wanted to change the way that I looked physically, so I began to diet, you know, doing the South Beach diet, and my mom and I did it together, and I probably dropped about 15 pounds going into the senior year of high school, and I felt good. But when I got to college, I packed on pounds, you know, that freshman 15, and it was just like, I didn't really care. I played tennis in college, but still, I never had the concept of what it was to be healthy and eat. My roommate and I were on a healthy kick, and you know, I started to lose weight. She was losing weight. We got gym memberships and everything of that nature. But I got these diet pills, and they worked like magic. And I realized that they were heavy appetite suppressants. I never wanted to eat. I barely went to the gym, even with the new membership that I had just purchased. I barely used it. So still there was that behavior there that wasn't connecting. I didn't have the eating habits, and I definitely wasn't exercising like I should have been exercising. I lost the weight the fast way. So I dropped to my lowest weight that I ever been before, which was about 155 pounds. But that weight came back as soon as I stopped taking those appetite suppressants, because I didn't develop a habit. So graduation came around, and I was back at like 175 pounds. I just didn't want to be that way anymore, and I knew that I could have control over my life. The point for me was in 2010, New Year's. Everybody does the cliche New Year's resolution that they're gonna lose weight. That's the first thing that everybody always says, they're gonna lose weight. Well, I was serious. I made the change, and I said that I'm making up in my mind that I am going to lose weight. once and for all. So after the new year hit, the first thing I did is I went cold turkey off of fast food. I never really was a fast food person, but I would, occasionally stop at McDonald's to get fries, etc. And I wasn't really conscious of the decisions that I was making. Was to cut out all fast food, and I did that. I was back at home in St. Louis, and I was in grad school, and I just made the vow to just get right, just get healthy all the way around. So I began exercising heavily. I had the time to exercise 2 days, two times a day, and I was dieting. I was eating all the right things. I was eating home cooked meals. I became a calorie counter basically. So that was one phase of the journey for me, because I wanted to change. I wanted to change for good. So one thing that I do want to say is that if you want to change the way that your body looks, do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't do it because you're being teased. Don't do it because your friends may be slim. Do it for you, because if you do it for anyone else, you don't gain the proper behavior to actually keep up with your new lifestyle change, is what I like to call it, then you'll be back at square one. So I did it for me, basically. When in the beginning I was doing it all for the wrong reasons. I was doing it because I wanted to look good in dresses. I wanted to be looked at, like all my other friends were being looked at. I wanted to change for me. So, and that's what I did. So now where I am, I'm much more confident in myself. I am on the journey to doing my first figure competition, and I am excited about it. I never want to go back to being overweight, because I was always known as the overweight girl, or the big girl, or whatever. And so I just also want to instill in my children a healthy lifestyle, because I think it's really important. So if you're going to lose weight and you have insecurities about your body image, I would say just do it for you. Make the change for you. Don't change because what society is saying, and don't beat yourself up about it. Don't allow yourself to become depressed, because always remember that you are made in God's image. I want to shout out my sisters, the Curl X, just for being who you are and allowing us to embrace other women and teach them how to embrace their imperfections and make them perfect in their head, in their eyes only. So, yeah, I thank God for you guys.
And everything else is just the way things were portrayed and the way things were brought to me. It made me feel like I wasn't important. I had times to where I would write in my journal and say, if everybody would be better off if Nikki wasn't here, because I thought I just wasn't that good.